Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining the HVAC Mergers and Acquisition podcast. On this podcast, we're talking about how to prepare your HVAC company to get the best price and best terms when you sell, how to acquire other HVAC companies, and how to merge HVAC companies together. So anything HVAC mergers and acquisition related, we plan to cover. So today we're going to talk about an interesting topic that you don't see out there much, but it's super valuable to whether you're preparing to sell your company or to whether you're planning on merging with another HVAC company. And that has to do with documenting your operating system. So as you can imagine, whether it's your dispatcher, whether it's your finance person, whether it's your technicians, or whether it's yourself, everyone has certain processes they follow when getting work done, whether that has to do with bringing sales in, fulfilling the work, or just coming up with ideas around how to make the business better. And a lot of times those systems evolve over time, especially if you have team members that have been working in the business a long time. There's little things that have been tweaked and optimized over a long period of time to where if somebody were to leave your company, right, especially a very important person in the business were to leave, it could affect a lot of things in the business. So one way to mitigate that risk, not only for yourself, but for investors when they get ready to buy your business, is by documenting those processes. And you don't have to document every single step, but within each stage, there's critical steps involved. There's probably 5 to 7 critical stages within your business, whether that be on the sales or side, or how you generate new clients on the fulfillment side, or how you come up with ideas. Document those things, and that you may have to do a workshop with your team, or have a certain team member document it. There's different ways to do it, but basically it has to do with when this happens, and then what happens, and then what happens next, and then what happens next, and then what happens next. So you have a lead come in, and then what happens, and then once you're fulfilling that lead, and then what happens. So you document all those things, and then you document who's accountable for those things, and then you talk about who's responsible for the person that's accountable, who's managing that person. And so you have all those things documented to where when your business is purchased, you can hand that over to the new buyer, and it'll make the transitional process much easier, not only for them, but for you as well, because everything is documented and they don't have to spend a whole lot of time trying to figure it out because you've provided that to them. And then if you're merging two companies together, you have your plan, the other company's going to have their plan, and you can look at it and try to determine what are the best practices. So you can look at the financials of both companies and who's doing best in different areas, and look at the plan associated with those things, and you might find some interesting things that come up through that process. So if you're not documenting your operational plan currently, definitely get started on that, because you can use that not only for the investors, but also just kind of, through optimizing your business. You can find there would definitely be insights that are gained when you start documenting those systems. So hopefully you found that helpful, and stay tuned for the next episode.